Dyson Pizza contains descriptions of peril, natural disasters, and kaiju. Content warnings can be found in the episode description. Hello, wayward listeners. Welcome back to Dice and Pizza, a show that follows a ragtag band of heroes who are chasing after the Tenkai, an ancient dragon god bent on burning down the world of Mirios. In case you were wondering, dear listeners, I held up a slice of pizza for everybody because, yes, I have pizza today for the first time in 13 episodes. My name is Derek, he, him pronouns, and I am the guide for our lovable band of heroes.
Hello, I'm Maya Worrell, they, them pronouns, please. And I play Zaba, the naturalist, mask guardian of Kokuru, Banin chosen, self-proclaimed releaser of Tenkai, currently afflicted. Please find me a doctor, please. I'm suffering.
Speaking of doctors, ahoy muscles. My name is Justin, he, him pronouns. I'll be playing Driftwood, they, them pronouns. Driftwood is a party doctor, and we are in the island of Noro, hometown of the many great doctors of Mirios. Will we find one? Maybe. If we do, we'll say hi.
Hello. My name is Kyla. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. And I play Arneas, or Ernie for short, a skilled spy having some difficulties in their career path of choice. Doctor talk, Ernie is actually not super comfortable with magical doctors, since they didn't really grow up with... They have healers, but you don't generally call in the magical chops unless it's something really serious, since you don't really want to heal those scars that show your prowess. So Ernie's a little uncomfortable.
Well, there we go.
But
Yeah.
they are healed, so they can't complain.
That is a nice Ernie fact. Once again, everybody, we are playing the game Quest. It's a rules-light system that focuses on storytelling and world building, and it is by the Adventure Guild. Everything that we will be rolling today will be with a D20, and that's really all you need to know. We'll kind of figure the rest out as we go. Alrighty, so last time on Dice and Pizza, our heroes, beaten and battered, traced back their journey and went to the village of Noro. Not without stopping in Alida to see what had happened, to see that the Adesians had gone through Alida, and then they made a stop at the Temple of Mitra and spoke with the elders there, and on their journey across the sea to Noro, they discovered they had a stowaway, Biri, a child that Ernie critiqued the sword fighting of. Currently, they are in Noro, having met Scallop, their guardian, whom none of them like, and they are currently at the Driftwood family residence. We ended last session on a dinner with Beluga, Angler, Sidon, Biri, Ernie, a very, very sick Zaba, and Driftwood all around a small table, sharing some tuna and some vegetables. So yeah, we're going to pick up the next morning. Which among the three of you is the first to wake up?
I think I'm the first to wake up.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I wake up, my usual routine in Noro has been to wake up like right before the sun rises, going out to the nearest shore to pray, just be by myself. So it's been a while since I've been able to do something like this. So I wake up early, and Zaba and Ernie are snoring, and Biri is snoring louder than everyone else, and Sidon is not snoring at all. Sidon is like...
It's good to
Yeah.
say that, yeah.
And everyone else is honk shoo. So I keep that in mind. And Driftwood goes out to the shore and starts to recollect themselves and just try to feel what the energy is like now that we're all here. How the energy has shifted on the island.
You had felt an inkling of it before you left, but now coming back with newfound skills and abilities, you now do sense that the island is, in fact, there is magic that permeates the island and the surrounding area. You can't really tell from where, but this place is a bit more magical than you might have originally thought of it. You might have used magical in a very adjective sense, not a literal sense in the past. So, yeah, okay.
It makes sense that it's literal. So it's like my sense magic, like it's much more like acute.
Yeah, it's much more acute.
Ooh.
Yeah, the ocean, though, is maybe a handful of inches lower than it was before you left. left. So the situation is still at hand,
Mm.
but there's still an ocean that breathes in and breathes out as it wafts against the shore.
So if the ocean's still here, Driftwood's feeling sense magic. Driftwood decides to just jump into the water like right away. No, no holding back this time. Just let me get into some of that good Nora water.
Yeah, you begin to swim around the ocean. Is there anything that you're like doing while you're swimming around in the water?
Keeping an eye out for anything like any objects floating around.
Go ahead and roll me a d20.
11.
11. That is a success. Something catches your eye. A little like glint of like a little glint of something. And you swim underneath the ocean, and unlike the lake, which was very dark and very sort of like shrouded, the ocean has like the sunlight to permeate through the salt water. You see the coral, you see all the schools of fish, and you begin to swim closer to the coral reef that's there, and you find a jar. You find a jar.
Something in the jar?
Like when you pick up the jar and inspect it, you see that there's like precipitation on the inside of the jar. Like this seal that's on the jar hasn't been opened. It has like it's a clear jar with a thick like leather topper that's been like tied down real tight, with like a metal band and some twine.
Is it on the ocean floor or is it like floating?
It's like on the ocean floor.
Whoa. Okay.
It is surprisingly heavy,
Ooh.
enough to make it sink.
I will do my best to take it with me and bring it to the shoreline.
Cool. Yeah. With your success, you're able to haul it. It's definitely like a workout. But you manage to pull it back up onto the shore. It maybe weighs like, I don't know, like 20 pounds or something. It's like really heavy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm over here on the shore with this jar. Last time we opened mysterious things did not end up well. So if I'm going to open this, I might as well bring it back. I think it's probably been around an hour since I jumped into the ocean.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I start heading back to the house.
In that case, you'll
Cool.
probably see Ernie outside doing like sword exercises, since they get up right when the sun rises, not before it, but at sunrise.
Nice.
Yeah. So, okay. So Ernie, I wave at Ernie. Are you the only one awake?
I'm not awake.
Zaba's sick.
Right. Zab is sick. What about Sidon or Beery?
Do children wake up early?
Depends
Does
if they're
Beery the child wake up early?
if Beery was a class A warrior, Beery would be awake. I say loudly into the
True.
house.
You hear a yawn, like a and then
The house
as you
shakes.
see, yeah, you see that Beery has rolled over and is like now just like splayed out on the ground with like a blanket like over like just the blankets thrown off. Like there's like one of those like anime like nose bubbles that's huge.
Oh yeah.
And then Sidon is still Sidon is like still lying down, rubbing his eyes. It looks like Sidon's starting to wake up, but is
Wow, Sidon, you've gotten slow.
When I was in Odysseus, when things were good, I could get up at like lunchtime. It was really nice. I miss a bed. This is comfy, but I had a bed that was like, it was like 2 lengths of a Sidon, like 2 lengths of me, like long. It was huge. It was the biggest bed I'd ever seen.
Well, you like to sleep, Sidon, but do you like to eat? Because we have 5 meals a day here on Noro.
Sidon in a blink of an eye, Sidon is like standing up, scratching like the back of his head in his like just sort of like pajamas, and he's like, "Food."
Yes, food. I'm gonna start cooking something, but look at this. Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat?
That's cool.
What is
Where'd you
it?
find it?
It's looks like a jar, with a leather thing on it. Yeah. So in my mind, I think that it's probably better off we open this together.
Should we get
excitement
Zaba?
begins. Yeah. Let's get a cursory look at what Zaba's doing.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping. Yeah, I'm sleeping.
We should just get like a stretcher and like bring Zaba outside to sleep outside with the what we stuff.
Yeah. Zaba, or Maya, roll me a d20 for
Okay.
Zaba's sleep.
12.
A 12. Okay. You don't dream of anything for the first time in a little bit.
Yeah, that's unusual.
Yeah. It's a very peaceful sleep when you start to come to.
Zaba, you're awake.
So how are you two waking up Zaba?
I'm just standing there.
So is everyone sleeping on the floor?
I think Sidon is, and then Beery has like almost like a futon mattress that's like just big enough for him.
Uh huh.
And then I think Zaba probably has like some kind of a bed.
Okay.
There were probably some, there's probably like some hammocks that were set up for the rest of everybody.
I go over to Zaba, and
Mhm.
I imagine Zaba's like eyes are like.
Yeah, just they're just the barest like if you weren't looking closely you would think that his eyes were closed.
Uh-huh. I look down at Zaba and be like,
Uh-huh.
Zaba,
Mm.
there's a spider on your stomach.
To someone who's sick, that's just cruel.
Is Zaba afraid of spiders?
Just watch us backfire.
Wait. I'll draw a card. No, I'm not afraid of spiders.
So you go back to sleep.
Yeah, you just see Zaba's eyes just close again.
All right. Well, there is a spider, so I grab it. I'm gonna roll to grab it. Actually,
Is this hammock portable?
Yeah.
I rolled a 2, so I
Yeah.
I miscalculate like where I'm gonna grab the spider,
You just hit Zaba.
and I like slap down on Zaba's stomach.
Ugh.
Yeah, Zaba, you wake up to Driftwood smacking you in the stomach.
Ugh.
Driftwood,
Yeah,
what are
you are
doing?
very much awake now.
No, it was the spider. It was the spider. Everyone saw it, right?
No.
No.
Spider where?
Beery saw it. Beery's still asleep.
Yeah, Beery's still asleep. Sidon has like 2 bananas in both of his hands and he's just chowing.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like at this point, one of my parents comes down the stairs. All the commotion.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
Is this
Beluga
how-
comes down.
is this how you treat guests, Driftwood?
We haven't really had guests before, so I suppose this is how I treat guests.
Mm.
Well, I just wanted to show you this, and that we're going to open this after breakfast.
Okay.
Also, do you want garlic fried rice?
Yes.
Okay.
Zaba tries to go back to sleep.
I think we should leave Zaba. Let Zaba sleep before breakfast.
Okay. I put the jar down next to Zaba's like, feet. And then
Okay.
I'm going to go help get stuff cooked.
Ernie, are you going to help with the cooking as well, or are you going to go back to practicing sword stuff?
How complicated is prepping garlic fried rice?
Think fast. I throw some cloves of garlic.
Wait, I
over-
guess I have to roll to catch it.
Oh, I was hoping you would slice them, but
Oh, just like
all right.
roll-
Let me roll
roll
for the
the-
throw.
Roll to see if you comprehend what Driftwood's trying to get
I
you
rolled
to do.
a 7.
I rolled an 18 for the throw, so it's a pretty good throw.
Ernie
have-
just gets smacked in the face with garlic, like the little pointy bits
Ernie.
kind of
Okay, yeah.
doesn't
so
react
Driftwood,
at all.
you throw a perfect throw. It's the garlic cloves are going right for your face, Ernie. Because you rolled a 7, that's a tough choice. you succeed in catching them. But your setback is that you're either going to get knocked off balance, and you can choose whether or not you want to fall on your back or your butt. Pick.
But so I can get up quicker.
Okay. Yeah, you like fall down and you just like plop down as if you're sitting in a chair. The floor shakes a little bit, and Beery does not wake up. But you now have like 6 cloves of garlic.
So noisy.
What are these?
It's sea garlic. We grow them over here at Noro. It's a typical vegetable that we use in the dishes here. Very potent. You should try some. You could even eat that raw if you peel the skin off.
I eat one, but I don't take the skin off.
Oh,
But I eat one before I heard you say you can take the skin. You're supposed to take the skin off.
I mean, you could do that if you want.
Does Ernie not like garlic?
Well, I'm spitting out the skins, and it's also incredibly strong tasting.
Roll to see if Ernie likes garlic.
Yeah, we will do.
We're just rolling like so many times.
Allergy check.
Oh shit! Dice drop. Do I re-roll if my dice drop, or do I just?
Yeah.
Okay.
You re-roll it unless you got a nat 20.
Yeah, that's the truth.
I got a nat 20.
Oh,
What does it mean?
Garlic's your favorite food now.
I guess you love garlic. You feel like it's cleared like your sinuses. Eating a lot of garlic has some health benefits.
Hey, Sidon, check this out. I throw one at him.
He gets hit in the face and falls over, and then grabs it and chews it. And he's like, "Oh, it's okay. Tastes like ground garlic, like the kind of garlic we get from the ground."
So Sidon eating alternating between bananas and garlic right now.
Yeah.
Oh, huh. Garlic and banana.
I can help chop it, but I'm trying to think if there's a way to give me disadvantage because Ernie does not cook.
Yeah. So,
I mean, you could just roll.
I got that in mind. So you all begin to work on frying up, the fried rice and getting ready to make all the garlic and all that stuff for it. Driftwood, you have rice from Noro, and you also have rice from like Kokoro that you can use. And then in addition to that, Ernie, you don't go to grab any of the knives because why would you need a knife when you have a sword?
I mean,
so
I canonically do have a dagger. I will say that.
You do, but for some reason you're chopping it with your sword. And it takes extra long.
So unsanitary.
It's like really big chunks, and then Beluga's like, maybe try the dagger. And then you pull out the dagger that still has your blood on it, and Beluga's like, maybe take a knife. And then Beluga starts to walk you through like how to dice garlic, because it's not like chopping. Like you were kind of just chopping cloves, I think, instead of dicing them. Meanwhile, Zaba, the scent of fried rice and garlic begin to fill your nostrils, and it feels a little bit homey.
I imagine it kind of reminds me of the kitchen in Kokoro, with like the sound of the water by it, and the sound of like cooking, and like kind of like the shh of like heat and like foods cooking and things like that. So yeah, it's very homey. I don't think we haven't been in that kind of space in a while.
Beery wanders into the kitchen.
Beery, try this. This will be good for your constitution.
Beery takes it.
Yeah, this one's chopped, so it's a little smaller, but it's one of the bigger cubes.
Okay. Beery's like rubbing like one of his eyes as he puts it in his mouth, and you just see his face be like,
Good, isn't it? Really packs a punch.
Zaba's like awake. Is like, Ernie, what are you doing to this child?
Would you like to try some?
I imagine there's like a flurry of stuff going on in the kitchen. I lean over to my mother. I'm like, I'm gonna get like way more garlic when we go into the shops today. Um,
She's like, okay, thank you. We're using a lot of garlic today. Your friends seem to really like eating this garlic raw.
yeah, I don't know. It's just every time they encounter food, it's like their favorite. It's a little weird.
Zaba has not picked up the piece of garlic. You're just standing there holding out this piece of garlic, and Zaba's just staring at you blearily, like,
I eat it instead.
Yep. I'm mixing the kokoro and the noro rice together, so we have mixed rice.
Cool.
ooh.
Nice.
Yep.
So yeah, fast forward a little bit. You're all surrounding like the dining table. You all will have your bowls of garlic fried rice, and you're all beginning to chow down.
My question is, what color is noro rice? Green.
It's green.
I don't know
Yeah.
what color Kokuru Village rice is.
Is it like brown rice? Is it like red rice? Is it like
Ooh.
Like wild rice.
mm,
But I guess you specifically are cultivating rice in rice fields, so.
is it like blue? Do we have some blue and green rice?
What about
Mhm.
um I think it's like a very pale purple.
Okay.
Ooh.
That goes nice with it, yeah.
Oh, I love that.
So you have this green and pale purple rice mixed with garlic, and it's in its fried fashion. It's delicious. You all feel a slightly more rejuvenated and better. For those of you who aren't Zaba, you should have maximum hit points. And everyone, including Zaba, should have gained 5 more adventure points.
Nice.
So keep track of that.
I'm at 8 hit points right now. Do I lose hit points like every day or
No, you're just not gaining them.
okay?
Yeah. At least at this stage. Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun,
So yeah.
Mhm.
Beluga asks, so what are the 5 of you doing today?
Well, I think it makes sense to go and seek out a healer as soon as possible or figure out how to get to one. And I think it'd benefit me if I learned a thing or two from some of them. Alternatively, we can find Tasia. And I mean, Tasia could be the healer themselves, but do you have any word on where they are right now? Are they still in town or?
She took a boat and sailed off to the Northern Islands. So she could be anywhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is Zaba clears the throat a little bit. Is there anyone who is close to
Tasia.
Tasia?
Besides us, I mean, she was our village elder. She didn't have any children nor a partner, so no immediate family. Yeah, I mean, we were probably the closest in town with her.
Does she not consult with the elders on the village?
No, Scallop made his case pretty clear that moving the village would be a bad idea and that we should stay here despite her concerns about the ocean and the sort of things she had been foreseeing. So,
Tasia?
Well, then I'm sure we can ask around, but how did you feel about leaving? Because I know that's something that we've talked about for a long time.
I mean, I'm not happy with it, but I feel like while we can get to the mainland, that wouldn't be a bad idea, I would like to not have to leave. I would like the ocean to not continue to be draining and for us to be able to continue to live here. This is our home, right? Despite all the things we've been through on this island, it is our home, and I would like to not leave it. But I don't know. This is where having Tasia instead of Scallop would be great, because she used to do all this sort of thinking and planning versus Scallop just trying to. Scallop thinks that if he can slay the Jelly Titan in the ocean, that'll bring the water back. But I seriously doubt that.
He's been saying that since like kindergarten.
Yeah, and it changes every time. First, it's slay the jelly titan, just slay the jelly titan to become a great hero. Then it's slay the jelly titan to get super rich. Then it's slay the jelly titan to get sick muscles. It's always something. It's always something with him and this jelly titan. I don't think he realizes that if he does that, yeah, he probably won't survive. But hey,
Hey, that sounds pretty good to me. Sorry, I know it's
I'm
crass.
not going to say it.
That's
but...
crass, mother. I'm sorry. Well, I think also, what about Father's friends from the bars around Noro? Don't they have any pull with the, the higher ups or the elders or anyone related to Tassia?
Yes and no, right? They have sway, but if, say, a young, burgeoning guardian with big ideas has opinions and gets to them first, yeah, it's a little bit hard pressed. It wasn't really a clean. It wasn't even really a clean vote. It was just Scallop made his case, and before they settled on it, Tassia was gone. So,
well, we do know that Scallop has his own fan base around Noro, which is it's pretty gross to think about.
Mm-hmm.
But they seem to have they think this is a good idea, so maybe they're worth talking to as well. I know I wasn't big about the Guardian system. I'm still not. I look at Zaba. But I feel like this is worse than, how it's been. So maybe another Guardian in Noro is not such a bad thing if we're fighting off this monster that's Scallop.
So where does this Scallop guy live again?
Beluga points to this lavish hut house that's at the end of town.
Okay.
It's like Emperor's New Groove with the hill. With
yeah, with the little house. Yeah, but it's like a house that's at least 2 to 3 times the size of everyone's house. Driftwood, this to be this was like the lodge where everyone would meet. It's now been converted into Scallop's lodgings and house.
God, it's so ugly. Pastels.
Would it look better if it was gray?
It's not going to match with the festival decorations. But Guardian gets what the Guardian wants, unfortunately.
Not today. Well, I finished digesting, and then I remember that we have that jar. If y'all, have anything else, we can start with this and then head into town right after. I don't mind taking this. Also, where's Pops? Is he still asleep?
Sorry. Your Pops is at the table.
He's at the table. Oh, okay.
He just been eating quiet.
Just been quiet really the whole time.
Quiet. Yeah. It's like head down.
Sorry, there's so many people here. I didn't see your dad. Sorry.
He's probably entertaining Beery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You need anything from town, Dad?
No. I got plenty of bait. I got fresh hooks.
Yeah.
It should be good for today.
You plan to fish today?
I think so. Yeah. Unless you need to borrow the boat, but I was planning on it.
I feel like we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We should check out what town's like right now, get some intel.
Okay. So you're going to try and open the jar, and then you're going to go into town.
Well, I want to consult our little gang here first. Okay. So I found this jar. I take it outside. I was like, we're going to open this. Let's not open it in the house.
So you, Zaba, Ernie, Sidon, and Beery all go outside.
Getting there? Is Sidon? Is Zaba
Sidon's
sitting, is Zaba sitting on Sidon's shoulders or something?
Sidon, I think, has just taken like a shawl and turned it into like a thing to like tie Zaba to like his back. So Zaba's
Is
just
Zaba
like
okay with this?
hanging like limp on
Can
Sidon's
we not
back,
get like a
but facing
wheelchair for
forward.
Zaba over here?
Isn't it called like a Bjorn? Is it a Bjorn for Zaba?
Bjorn,
A baby Bjorn?
yeah, a baby Bjorn. Not quite like that, but it is something like that.
Okay.
There's no wheelbarrows.
I see no issue with this.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
If you're cool with it, then that's fine.
Sidon is like has like a banana up for Zaba in case Zaba needs a snack,
Or me.
or driftwood.
It's my banana now.
Yeah, Beery is on Sidon's other shoulder.
Oh, okay. Are there
So, yeah,
bananas also on Beery's shoulder?
Beery just Beery just has a banana.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, the five of you are outside and you have this jar. Once again, I will describe. It's a clear jar with sort of precipitation on the inside of it. It's sealed with like a leather like topper with like a metal band and some twine around it, the jar lid.
And you said it's like 20 pounds, right?
It's like 20 pounds. Yeah, it's quite heavy.
Could I use sense magic on it specifically? Is there
Yeah.
magic coming from it?
Oh yes, it's very magical.
Oh, hey y'all, it's very magical. Not saying we should open it. I'm just saying that it is there. It exists.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Is it warm also?
Ooh, yeah, it's a little bit warm. In like a comforting kind of way.
Oh, comforting warm. Anyone want to do the honors?
I'm not touching anything that's magical.
I'm up on Sidon's shoulder.
You can still use your arms.
I'm
Sidon
too close
just
to.
kneels
I'm,
down.
has Beery hopped off?
Yeah, Beery's hopped off to look at the jar from like his perspective.
I think I can be let down onto the sand.
Yuri,
Cool,
would you like
yeah.
a challenge?
No.
Sure, what's up, Ernie?
No.
Okay, Zaba says no.
I've been vetoed. Next time we'll find a challenge for you.
Zaba says, Beery, why don't you go make a little why don't you go make a hole in the sand over there? Why don't you go dig a hole?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Does not
Some
sound fun.
strength training.
The instant that Ernie says strength training, Beery's face goes from like, why am I not allowed at the adults table to, yes, strength training to because I can be a hero like them and they do strength training. And Beery runs off and begins to dig a hole ferociously.
With
making lots of,
his
like,
bare hands?
Yeah.
It's sand.
Oh,
and he's
okay.
like,
But
yeah,
sand hurts.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. As he's like
He's
digging through the
He's
sand.
getting hit by sand.
Yeah.
How are you better with children than me at this point?
with one child who I've
With one
brainwashed into thinking that he's a warrior in training. I don't think that's
He looks
good.
up to you.
Not true. Ernie has a track record of bartering clothing with children to calm them down.
Oh yeah.
Your
Oh, yeah.
earrings.
Oh yes, that's true.
Yeah. Okay, so who's opening this jar?
So I think it's clear that I am. I
Yeah.
try to open up the opportunity for someone else to, but it doesn't seem right. So I close in,
All right.
especially since I'm comforted by it. And then I look around. I was like, if another dragon comes out of here, don't tell anyone it was me.
Have my hand on my hilt. The hilt. Dragon?
Roll a d20,
Okay.
Justin.
I'm so nervous. 17.
Even with all your strength, you can't get it to budge.
Huh.
It seems impossibly tight. There must be so much pressure built up inside of this, you realize.
Oh, I don't like that.
But like you like can't get it, even with a 17. You realize it's gonna take like a feat of impossible strength to open this.
Oh, okay. So then Driftwood's like, I can't
Wait,
open it. I
so-
can't open it.
Here,
So-
I want
so
to
you-
try.
Okay. You know, it's
It's like-
20 pounds, right? Let me.
Just put it in front of me.
Okay. So I scoot it on the sand over to Zaba's lap.
Zaba kind of like, yeah. I just realized one of my arms is injured, right?
What's a
It's
magically
like-
injured arm?
Isn't it your shoulder? Or no, was it?
You don't
your
have
arm?
any broken limbs. It's just
like a-
you can still use it. It's
Okay.
just you have the wound. Yeah.
Because I just want to like kind of open the
Tor-
jar
oh.
like this, like
Mm.
kind of. Anyway,
Like you want to get some leverage on it. Basically,
Yeah.
get some extra torque on it by like trapping it between your arms.
yeah, exactly. Try to kind of
Okay,
between
cool.
my arm and like maybe I don't know how big it is, but like kind of using my feet, like my legs as well, or just like keeping it steady. I don't think I'm gonna open it, but this is like the pickle thing or like the jar of jelly where it's just like everyone's like, here, let me try, and then they can't.
Mhm. Yeah.
Wait, do I have anything that makes me stronger? Can I? Well, I don't even know if I'd be able to do it. That's something another thing I should get for wild aspect is like a
Right.
wild aspect that lets me get more strength. I can't turn into anything right now because I'm not feeling great. I mean, it's a 19, but it's not gonna do it.
No, you also get really close, and you can feel that as you begin to twist, you like can almost like you feel like you're almost there, and as you're like twisting it, trying to, you can almost hear like the sound of like wind, like as you and then you're like, oh, you can't go get it, but you start to hear the sounds of wind.
Okay, fine.
Here.
I walk over.
Sidon.
Oh, you go to Sidon. Okay. I
Throws
let
it
you hand
over.
it to Sidon.
Ernie.
Okay, Sidon. Sidon is just like, yeah, and then you see like Sidon like kind of like in an anime like freeze in 5 different poses as he like
Yeah.
around the jar as he's trying to open it, but he can't get it.
Okay,
And he passes it to you, Ernie.
okay. So the cork. Can you describe how it's being sealed, like in detail, for me again?
Yeah, so it's a leather wrap that goes over the top of the jar
Okay.
with a metal band and then twine around it.
Oh,
It's like not even like a lid. It's just like a metal band around this leather sort of like topper.
so
that
are
you
people
can't,
trying
like,
to like pull the
Oh.
leather out?
No, it's
people?
the
It looks like
bands,
people
right?
are like trying to remove the band off.
So, can I take my dagger out and try to get some leverage between the metal band and the leather?
You're gonna break your dagger,
um,
I'm gonna try anyway.
or you're gonna slice.
roll me
your
that
hand out.
d20 to see if you can get leverage.
Beery, keep doing strength training, but can you do strength training by that? Can you climb that tree for strength training? I point to a tree that's a little further away.
Beery runs and begins to climb up the tree.
Are there coconuts in the tree?
Yeah.
Oh, please, Beery, please get some.
That's only
Yeah.
a 17.
So you managed to like get the leverage underneath with the dagger, and you begin to try and twist, but you know that like you get to a point where like if you push any harder, you could break the dagger. And so you stop.
I mean, that's okay. I can break the dagger. Just worried about the ricochet, where the blade would go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe we should relocate somewhere nowhere is around. Well, does Beery get the coconuts?
Yeah, Beery comes back with 2 coconuts. 'Cause that's all he can really carry.
He climb back
Pretty
down.
good for
Oh my
him.
god.
Beery
you
is
can just-
doing work.
You just drop the coconuts right in.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Whoa, Beery! I take a coconut from him and then I slam it on like the lid of the jar.
Roll me a d20.
4.
Wait,
The you managed to puncture a hole in the in the coconut, and all like the coconut milk begins to spill out all over the jar and you.
I like
So-
do my best to like scoop it up and start drinking the coconut milk.
if it's a leather thing, can we not just puncture the leather?
Well, because it's the metal bends.
You
Or-
could try it.
I take the dagger out again.
Well,
But
Zaba's
if
going
you heard
to.
the wind,
Yeah,
we're-
Zaba's going to stop and just say, what would Zaba say? Is it wise to try to open this? Did anyone else hear the winds?
Wind?
That wind? I point towards the wind.
Zama just stares at you and then points at the jar. Like actually like motions for Ernie to give the jar back.
Okay. I give it back.
And I just like put it up to my ear. Do I hear the wind?
Yeah, when you focus in on it, you begin to hear the sound of the wind towards the lid. And roll me a d20 while you're listening.
While Zaba's listening, can I walk up and say, "Hey, how do we open you? Please tell us."
You're talking to the jar, eh?
Oh man, that's not good.
Does the jar respond?
You're just like shouting in my ear while I'm trying to listen. I got a 6.
You got a 6. Okay. So when you're looking up that close and when you see, you get distracted because when Ernie says, "How do we open you?" The jar moves a little like, on its own.
and
you're like, "What?"
I drop it.
You drop it. Yeah.
Can I roll to catch it?
Yeah.
I'm not standing up, you know.
I rolled a 2, so I obviously don't catch it.
You dive to grab it. You
Does it
just
fall on your
head.
hand?
You're covered in sand now. But yeah,
and
it moves a
coconut
little
milk.
bit. Yeah.
Is anyone watching us do this?
Sidon is.
Okay. Anyone outside the
Fury-
immediate party?
Driftwood, roll me a d20.
What?
This is like the most rolling we've done. Like this.
12.
12.
Oh no.
You look around and you see that from a distance you see Scallop watching you all on the
God.
beach.
Fuck.
He is, however, like in like a really scant like robe and holding like what appears to be like some fermented like a fermented drink. And it looks like he's just gotten up.
He's fucking like he's day
and-
drinking.
Yeah, and he's like wandered out onto like his porch.
What time is
yeah.
it?
It's like 10 a.m. now.
Okay, I make a note. 10 a.m. Scallop leaves house to day drink
Nobody make
While
eye contact. Nobody make eye contact.
while
Yeah.
not wearing armor.
From
Zaba's
the corner of your eye.
Zaba's
oh,
making straight eye contact with Scallop.
from the corner of your eye, Driftwood, you see Scallop go back into his house.
10 a.m. Scallop goes back inside house after imbibing.
You know what? I'm starting to get a little antsy about getting this open. I'm sure there might be something we can look up in town that will help us solve this too. But bear with me, please. Buri, do you want to give a shot at opening the jar?
I rinse it off a little.
Yeah, Beery grabs it. His hand is like, the more and more I think about Beery, the more and more Beery gets tinier and tinier. Beery's kind of like that kid from Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of how I imagine Beery sometimes
Oh,
in
that's
terms
so
of stature.
cute.
Just kind of like tiny and floppy and like always hungry. Beery can barely fit his hand around the lid of the jar. He's like, and then he sets it down. He's like, I guess I just have the strength to train more, right, Master Ernie? Sword Master Ernie, Warrior Master Ernie,
No, we're
Wolf Master Ernie,
we are colleagues. You
colleagues.
Yes.
So I'm also a sword master.
No, neither of us. No one except for Manu themselves knows how to wield the sword proficiently. We are all just seeking perfection. Anyways, you have done a good job. I pick up the jar and look to Driftwood. One last thing. I think whatever's in this jar can hear us. Do you think it will respond to Bialy?
Oh, you were talking to the jar?
Yeah, I said, "Hey, how do we open you?" And then it like moved a little. Hey,
Ugh.
can you hear me? I talked to the jar.
The jar like vibrates a little bit.
It
Wow.
vibrated. Here,
Um.
hand it over to you like a child.
Yeah, Beery, you want to say something to the jar?
Open! Driftwood, you get a sense while you're holding it that the motion it makes as it moves is the equivalent of like a shrug.
Hmm.
Like it doesn't know how to open itself.
Okay.
Mhm.
I could try. I mean, yeah, let me try. So I try. I speak to the jar in Bayali and say, I found you in the ocean. Would you like to come out?
The jar makes like a nodding motion. And you notice something peculiar that as you begin to inspect like the lid, like kind of like how Zaba was, you notice that there's like some ancient, like very faded writing around the metal band in Bayali, actually.
Am I able to read it?
It's like really rough, but you get a sense that there's like instructions that have faded over time on this metal band.
Whoa. So yeah, there is something in there. It's magical. It can hear us. So maybe the way to open this is if we actually take it to an elder or someone who's more proficient in Bayali script. I know there's a lot of folks inside or in the village who are scribes. They're not many. Might be worth a shot. I just don't know if we should bring it with us. It's pretty heavy, and I don't know. What do you think?
I think we should. I mean, I'll take it. I don't know if I trust leaving since Scallop has seen us interacting with this jar. I don't trust leaving.
Right. I
the
look over
jar.
my shoulder to make sure Scallop is not there.
Yeah, Scallop's not there. Okay. Yeah, Ernie, you're able to throw it in like your satchel
Okay.
or
It's
bag.
20-pound.
Yeah. Um,
Okay.
it's leg day somewhere in the world. Cool. So you're all gonna head into town now.
Yeah. So I check on my list. It says garlic and a healer for Zaba's eternal suffering.
Cool. Yeah. So you guys make your way into town. You're able to find garlic easy peasy. You don't, you trade some bait or something of equivalent value. That you've done this a million times. You trade something of equivalent value for garlic. There is no rook that is like really distributed here in the village. There's 3 places where you'd probably find a healer and or an elder that speaks Bayali. So you can go to like one of the like bars where like your dad Angler hangs out. You can go to the what was like you can go to the healer's hut, or you could go to the lodge where Scallop lives because that is where technically people work there. Elders work there. So those are your 3 options.
Do we want to all stick together? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, let's stick together. I like
have
second
no-
guess. I was like, none of
have
you
no
know anything.
No
At
choice
some
on the
point,
matter.
at some point, and I raise my little tracker devices. I do want to see if I can stick a little tracker device on Scallop. I don't know if it will slide off because he's so oily.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. So let's go to the healer's hut first. I don't know if if there's gonna be any healers there, given the situation that we're in right now. But we can check, and at least we can get some more info in case we need to uh, encounter more directly with Scallop. Ugh.
So you head to the healer's hut, and you enter through the like cloth draped door, and inside there are sort of like there's like it's a kind of like an infirmary. But it's like not like as like I don't know bloody as an infirmary. It's got some nice like places for people to lie down while they're being healed. There's pools of like luminescent water in this space, and there is one person whom Driftwood you would recognize as Kadana, one of the healers. And there's another healer named Tarhun, but he is not present. And Kadana is also considered one of the village elders. And you see that she is collecting supplies.
Go ahead and flag over Kadana. So hey Kadana, it's long time no see. It's Driftwood.
Driftwood, you're back.
Yes.
Good to see you. And who are these friends?
Well, this in order of height. This is Sidon, Ernie, or is that Zaba taller than Ernie?
I'm
Oh,
back on
okay.
Titan's shoulder, right?
Right. I start counting and then I miscount. I was like, oh yeah, one of them is on the shoulder.
I'm like
so-
hidden because I'm kind of like this, like Zaba's kind of like conked out again, like.
A hand waves out of the little satchel. Oh yeah. So there's Sidon, and Sidon is carrying Zaba from Kokoro, and that's Ernie.
I'm
And-
Zaba, guardian of Kokoro Village.
Yeah, and the one eating the coconut meat is Buri.
Are
Is there a polite way of greeting you? I asked the elder.
she holds her like hand up for you to well, Driftwood, you see, yeah,
Right.
like you take her head and put it against your forehead,
Yeah,
and
just like this.
yeah, yeah, and everyone follows suit, and
Zaba in the little purse.
yeah, when her hand touches your forehead, Zaba,
Mm.
her expression drops, and she says, "We need to set him down on the bed, right here," and Sidon like removes the tied Zaba from his back and lays you down, and Kadana begins to basically submerges Zaba's body in a like pool of water, and puts a pillow under Zaba's head and begins to cast spells. Like Driftwood, you've known that they use like magical healing here a lot, and you're able to now like watch this up close and personal and see the kinds of movements she's making and the words as she's chanting in Bayali.
Can I keep an eye out to make sure that this isn't like picking up any attention?
Yeah, roll me a d20, Ernie.
Well, that's a 5, so I guess it's
Okay. You're like trying to like keep an eye out, but Buri is like distracting you a little
yeah,
bit.
I have to make sure
So-
Buri isn't the one that's not running around.
Yeah, so Sidon ends up trying to keep watch, but yeah, it's Sidon. So some time goes by, and Kadana looks at you, Driftwood, and says, "What happened to this young guardian?" As she's casting.
Mm. We had an encounter with the dragon Tenkai. I'm sure you've seen. I don't know how far gone this wound is, which is why we came here.
And now we zoom inside of the mind of Zaba. Zaba, when you open up the last thing you remember is being submerged in water, and when you open up your eyes, you know where you are. You are back in the spirit world.
Oh, am I back on
yeah.
that mountain or someplace else?
You're someplace else. It's like you're actually in a desert. You're in the desert at the center of the continent, but you don't feel its heat. Your body feels quite cool. You can like, as you look over to where your wound is, you see a sort of like green essence being sort of pulled out of your wound. It stings, but you're beginning to feel better as you see the essence leave your body. Roll me a d20.
All right. What color are the sands?
The sands are orange.
No, I got a 7.
Oh, okay, cool. So just a tough choice.
Just a tough choice.
So basically, it dawns on you that you are going to recover from this wound. You'll be fine after Kadana finishes healing you. But while you're sort of in this desert, you have a vision, and you see 2 realities that could occur. And you don't really know like in what context, but you see your village destroyed in one, and you see the village of Noro destroyed in the other. And I want you to pick which vision you sort of like reach for.
Oh boy.
You do not know if these are things of the past or if these are things that have yet to come.
Yeah. It comes back again to that choice I made when I was telling the group about my vision of my village destroyed. and it was like, should we go to Kokuru? And I was like, no, we must go to Noro. And trusting that my village, I mean, I left trusting that my village would be able to take care of themselves. That right now my mission is no longer one of taking care of my village as guardian, but it is Benin chosen as Benin chose me to help, said that it was all right if I left and chose a different journey. And right now, the information that Noro's libraries may have, the fact that we are in Noro right now, as well, the hospitality they've shown, I think I have to choose the reality where, I mean, this is interesting because this is also assuming that like this is technically like a choice between, because I'm only seeing like either my village destroyed or Noro destroyed. It's even if I choose my village being destroyed, that doesn't say anything about what Noro is. So there is that aspect of like, I don't know.
Yeah, you have no way to know which reality is even true.
But I think I'm going to still choose that vision that I already knew of, that I'd already foreseen or had already of my village destroyed, rather than.
So you reach out towards that vision, and as you grasp it, you notice two things. One, in the great desert, you see a group of nomads in the distance, staring your direction. They hold spears and have their bodies wrapped in cloth, but there's one key thing you notice about them, their eyes. They have eyes akin to yours that glow yellow.
Oh.
And as you reach for the vision and grasp it and fall into it, you step forward and you see the village is on fire. But it's not quite the vision you had. In fact, you see a guardian, a little taller than you, very old, standing in front of a small child with wild hair. And you see that the child is holding onto a little anklet. And you see this older guardian remove his mask and put it on this child's face. And you recognize this elderly man to be Goro. And in that moment, you come back to, gasping for life. Driftwood, you literally just said, we don't know what happened, we don't know how bad this is going to get, and all of a sudden Zaba's like...
Ooh.
So yeah, Zaba, you're back. You're cured of the serpent sickness. But you now have that in your mind.
Zaba started doing push-ups.
Zaba's just like stretching.
Hey, you were only in there for like 10 seconds. Are you...
Kadana stops casting and says, "It appears the poison has left."
Wow, I should have trained with you, Kadana.
I thank you. I feel much better.
What did you see anything, or are you okay? You didn't look good, and then you look great.
I just saw a moment from the past.
All right, I believe you. Do some push-ups for me, just to be sure.
Cool.
Zaba gets on the ground and does some push-ups.
Buri joins in.
Buri gets on Zaba's back.
Yeah.
Ernie starts doing push-ups too. Actually, no. Ernie starts looking at your form.
Zaba's like, I know how to do push-ups. I know how to do push-ups.
Meanwhile, Kadana also begins to start working some magic on your hands, Driftwood, and on your arm, Ernie, to slowly begin to heal those. Over the next few days, you'll regain basically full strength and motion in your broken limbs.
Can I ask Kadana? I know that all of the other healers went with Scallop. Are you in trouble for helping us like this?
She lets out a big exhale and says, "As a villager of Noro, yes, I'm in trouble. But as a healer and as a doctor, no. It's my duty to help people, regardless of the consequences towards me. So just keep this between us. As far as the rest of the village knows you came in here to get supplies from me. And the supplies she was gathering, she hands over to you and says, these are some poultices and some, healing liquids to help you all, and some bandages. I was down here grabbing these, admittedly, for Scallop upon his order, so he'll probably be wondering where I'm at soon enough, but it's the least I can do, and she hugs you, Driftwood.
Yeah, I hug Kadana back. I guess in this moment also I want to cast relief.
She smiles. Thank you. And with that, she packs up her things, grabs like her little basket, and walking stick, and begins to walk out of the healing hut.
Well, Sidon, Sidon's here, right?
Yeah.
Sidon, thank you for carrying me during the time that I could not walk.
Yeah, no worries. Got that extra leg day in.
Indeed. Well, Zaba turns to Driftwood. Where are we off to next?
Well, you look all good. I mean, I'm honestly a little suspicious, but
Zaba jumps up and down a little bit.
I guess the best we can do is keep an eye on you. I mean, we're working up to a confrontation with Scallop. We're going to run into him sooner or later. So I feel like we should just learn as much as we can and prepare ourselves with information. Unless y'all want to go and explore other specific parts of the island, we can be good here.
What are you holding up, Sidon? I mean, not Sidon, Ernie.
Are you sure? Okay.
Rude.
Sidon and Ernie, they just have the same. You two are just so similar to me.
Because you're both from Tosu, huh?
No,
I hold up the jar. What were you saying?
Because you two choose the because you two are so fitness minded.
So Ernie, you're holding up the jar towards Zaba?
Yes. Well, I'm holding it up towards Driftwood and Zaba as like an idea of what something we could do. But we can also do other things. We definitely spent a lot of time trying to open this jar already. So.
Well, we can go and check out the bar. I know some of the olds are hanging out over there, and then maybe some of the scribes hang out there sometimes too. I know it's still in the middle of the day, but yeah, people are at the bar all day in Noro.
Are children allowed in the bar?
Yeah, they are actually.
We can order some fruit juice for Barry. I actually
Okay.
don't have money, so
You're like, just put it on no, put it on Scallop's tab.
Yo. Okay, what were you gonna say?
Not a bad
Derek?
idea, actually.
We're guests. We're guests of Scallops.
All right, so you go to the bar where all the olds are. There's like a little like painted cloth with like a fish hook and some like Bayali script on it, and you enter into.
I try to walk officially into the bar, like looking, like acting like very official. That's just like a flavor kind of thing.
Yeah, you enter into Zoran's bar officially, and inside you see that there are two like elderly, like they used to be like fishermen, like seafaring, like warrior guys. They're in like the back drinking. One has a peg leg, the other has a like a knife for a hand and is like cutting what appears to be like some kind of pipe weed for them to smoke, and they're having a jolly good time. There's what appears to be a child at the bar drinking a lot of what appears to be a clear substance. And then there's the bartender, Zoran, who is older and has seen a thing or two. He has like a shark tooth necklace and some like ancient, kind of like similar to Driftwood's tattoos, by the way. Like some of that kind of like Bayani like script and imagery on his arm. And he has lots of scars, Ernie. Lots of scars.
I whispered to Driftwood, "Is this an elder?"
Yeah, I guess you could call Zoran an elder. Don't
Okay.
say it right in front of him, though.
I that's why I whispered. But I'm gonna. Oh wait. Okay, then I guess I shouldn't do the hand thing, right? I'm still
yeah.
whispering this.
Yeah, don't start with that.
Okay.
But Zoran's a really interesting character. He's been to a bunch of all of our birthdays. You can always catch Zoran having a good time.
What's his thoughts on Scallop?
I'm not sure. Honestly, the politics change like day to day here in Noro. Zoran's a mild-mannered person, doesn't say that much, but Zoran knows everything.
Ernie internally scratches out a plan that they had to try and get free drinks.
Mm-hmm. So you all go and sit at the bar.
Beery too, right?
Yeah, Beery too. Beery sits next to this kid who
I
just
walk,
like
can I ask the other kid like what are you drinking there?
the kid looks at you and says, "Water."
Okay, cool. Beery, you can I pick the cup and smell it just to be safe, and then I'm like, Beery, you can go hang out with this kid.
Beery's like, "Okay," and the kid's like, "Hi." My name's Mel.
Did you say your
Beery's
name's
like, "Hi."
Mel?
Yeah, my name's Mel.
Oh, hey, Mel.
Hi.
Zaba.
Mel looks really sad and dejected and is just drinking water. There's like 12 empty glasses of water at the bar. And Beery's like, "I see you're hydrating."
Zaba turns to the bar, the barkeep,
Mhm.
and asks, "Do you have any tea?"
I look at Zaba and I'm like, what are you doing? Tea?
This is a drink establishment, and tea is a drink.
I have a Noro Island iced tea.
Okay,
Cool.
I'll have that.
You see him begin to whip up a drink with ice and with some bottles of colors of colored liquid you've never seen before.
Oh, it's cold.
Um,
It's cold. I've never had cold tea before.
Mr. Zoran and I, or is that the correct honorific?
Zoran says, "Mr. Zoran was my father. You can
Oh.
just call me Zoran."
Zoran, I do like a kind of like not like a curtsy, but like some kind of
You should have
Like
said
a
Sir
bow?
Zoran.
yes. I said, have you heard about the news about? I don't laugh. I don't laugh at real life. Scallop's new cell swords.
He raises an eyebrow and says, "If Scallop's hiring muscle to replace the muscle he lacks, then, well, that would be the closest thing that Scallop has to admitting to the fact that he's not qualified. So I would be pretty shocked if there were actual cell swords, but you do look like someone that knows how to use a sword." Gestures to your sword.
Yes, it's funny. It's He didn't tell me that when he hired me.
Kind of give Ernie a look.
Zoran's like, Zoran looks to you, Driftwood, and is like, "Are your friends for real?" Gives you that kind of a look.
Hey, Zoran. Hey, Tito.
What's up, kid? Anak, what do you want?
Well, I mean, so first of all, we're under Scallop's tab.
All right, yeah.
And
That's the only reason that Ernie did this. I hope Driftwood picks up on that.
so you probably know that I shouldn't be here. That I'm here sooner than anyone would expect. I guess I just wanted to ask how things were going around here specifically. The healers camp doesn't look too good at all. What's your read since you know everything?
Zoran lets out a big sigh as he begins to make drinks. He just makes Noro Island iced teas for everybody. Does everyone drink? As he lets out a long sigh.
Yeah, I
So-
knock it back.
This is excluding Beery, or does Beery also have a
Yes.
Long Island or Island?
You see him get a glass of water, and then he puts like one of those umbrellas in it.
A little
And slides it
like,
to Beery.
lamb
Yeah,
slice.
with like a slice with an orange slice.
Oh, the melon Beery cheers.
Yeah, it's like a melon. Yeah.
Oh,
It's a melon for Mel.
a melon
Yeah.
for Mel. Okay.
No. It was I think Derek misheard you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
then I
Mel,
started riffing
Mel
on it.
and Beery.
Oh,
Beery.
Mel and yes, Mel and Beery, and everyone cheerses.
No beer for Beery.
Yeah, no beer for Beery. But yeah, you do notice that Mel and Beery are chit-chatting. They appear
Huh.
to be about this. You learn three things. They're the same age. Mel
Kids love that.
has no friends. And
Oh no.
and the final thing is they've decided to go play a game with they call it Coconut Ball. It's basically like You can only hit it with your head or with your feet, and it's like a hollowed out coconut.
Oh, okay.
And they're gonna go play that together. And while Zoran tells his tale, they leave and go play. But Zoran actually pours a drink for himself. This is a very alcoholic beverage. All three of you.
Oh, I didn't
noticed
sip
that.
it. I drank all of it.
I take
You drank all of it?
Yeah.
It's very alcoholic.
I take a small sip, and Zaba makes like a face, like
Yeah. Have you ever had alcohol?
I'm sure you've had like rice alcohol, right?
Like
Ernie
rice
doesn't say
wine?
that, but-
I think maybe we have like some herbal tonics.
It's like Jägermeister.
I don't know what that is.
It's a really strong. It's like or pretty strong herbal liquor
Hmm.
that doesn't taste good.
Anyway, so I mean, I've never really associated those with tasting very good. Though I think when you get older, you're supposed to kind of like be able to appreciate it more, is what Goro says. So no, Zaba hasn't drank that much.
Okay.
Tastes bad. I took one sip and I put it down. I'm like,
Driftwood drinks half.
So Zoran says, well, when you left Driftwood, things were okay. You know, Tasia was still in charge. The elders and the council, they were doing fine. Scallop was just our hunter and protector. You know, he would go out every day, fish, come back with a new set of catch, and feed the village, right? As is prescribed by his duties. About a week ago, he came back with nothing. He started making demands. He threatened the elders. You know, made his case against Tasia. And she left before the elders had a chance to make a decision. No one knows why. Everyone's hush-hush about it because everyone is, well, his case was that, you know, she was conspiring to have us leave to go back to the mainland, where he had foreseen and seen the great dragon from this, you know, the great gold dragon. And he felt that if we were to go to the mainland, we would die surely at the hands of this dragon, versus staying on the island and continuing to work our way through the drought. And since then, things have been tense. He's been consolidating resources in the village, pulling them back up to the lodge, which he's not letting anyone into anymore. Class, school, any sort of like nighttime festivities have been kind of canceled. Your mother and father have been trying to appeal to him to let them use the lodge for the festival of Mitra, but he doesn't seem to be budging on it. And to make matters worse, we're cracking into those reserves of frozen fish, where we haven't cracked into those in maybe a decade or so. So, it's some really, well, you know, like, he sees the face and is like, well, we haven't cracked into the cured ones that are, you know, preserved and all that with the magic, but, and so he says things are getting desperate. There's less and less, even though you know we're able to catch fish, we're not bringing in as big hauls as normal. Something is definitely very wrong, and something's off with Scallop. He's power tripping really hard, a lot harder than he was. No one really wants to do anything about it because with the festival coming up and Tasia gone, everyone's in a weird state of trying to be happy but also mourning, even though she's probably not dead.
I drank the rest of my Noro Island lung tea.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Zaba pushes my not almost basically untouched drink over to Driftwood.
Oh, I down it.
Oh no!
I down that one too.
You weren't supposed to drink it all at once.
It's okay, Zao. It's okay.
It's a mistake.
Zoran.
Immediately he gets drunk.
Yeah, it's totally hitting me. Well, I think I drank that too fast.
Zoran, how did I was gonna say Sidon again? Perhaps it's me not understanding the dynamics of this island. How did Scallop gain power so quickly?
Well, the elders and Tasia felt that we needed a guardian. We haven't had a guardian since the line was broken, you know, several decades ago. we have not had a guardian chosen at birth since then. And we haven't needed a guardian, really. There wasn't really anything threatening to our village. The ocean is fairly calm. The fish are nice. We know to stay out of the fish's way. We know how to move with the ocean, how to work with the ocean. Our relationship with it is quite healthy, but
Not Sidon. Scallop.
Scallop? Where?
Scallop.
Driftwood like gets up from the seat.
I should have glanced at Ernie, like, handle this. Scallop, I was gonna say Sidon again. Scallop was not God chosen.
no.
No, he
Scallop-
wasn't.
Scallop was elected by a group of elders here in the village, primarily because about a decade ago, nine maybe 10 years ago, we were attacked by a group of pirates known as the Wind Sharks. We don't know where they came from, who they are, and we had never seen a ship anything like theirs. The sails were almost made of paper, and they, instead of one sail, they had two sails, angled with the wind, much like our skiffs. But they came swiftly, raided our village, took our young, burned a good chunk of the surrounding resources we had. That's why we have ruins on the island to the west. That used to be our sort of an annex of ours for any sort of supplies and all that. But it was a really terrible time. Since then, the elders have been on edge, and I think there was a sighting of the Wind Sharks in the months leading up to Scallop's election, and that's mostly what's caused the events. Is someone scouted, someone spotted them. Don't know for sure, but they were on the horizon. And of course, with the dragon in the sky, that hasn't really helped the case to not have a guardian. So
Driftwood interrupts and is like, we don't even know what we saw. No one even made any landfall. We didn't see no wind sharks. They just wanted, I don't know. We stopped talking about the wind sharks.
Yeah, Driftwood, we can stop talking about the Wind Sharks. Zoran's expression kind of like sinks a bit. Like, this is a heavy topic for both Driftwood and Zoran. Zoran leans into you, Zaba, and to you, Driftwood, and Ernie, and says, while that's the official story about why Tasia left, I don't think that's why. I think she left because she refused to hand over the tools of the Guardian.
Do I know what this individual means by tools of the Guardian?
So, with your knowledge, you would assume that tools of the Guardian mean like the mask, the weapons, any sort of like things from the previous Guardian that would be handed down to the next Guardian.
Does Sidon not wear a mask?
Scallop has
Oh gosh.
Scallop made his own mask.
Scallop, yes.
Yeah, Scallop made his own mask.
Okay.
He has a mask of like this, it's like this abysmally carved Jelly Titan mask. You see that, but you've noticed around the village that there's a lot of like shark imagery. So you could assume that this village is more associated with the Gia Ako versus the Jelly Titan.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining a mask that has like the weird jellyfish tendrils that are kind of like this, and it's just like it just doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good.
It looks very bulbous.
Like maybe if someone else like like had some input and you could have like those like kind of like strands of like pearls or something, it would have looked really cool. But as it stands, it's just like very like jagged and like
not
carved.
uneven.
Yeah.
It's a lot more difficult to carve those than one would expect.
Yeah, so that's what you know. So basically, it's those sort of like artifacts that get passed on. And the last Guardian, when the last Guardian passed and the cycle was broken, the elders at the time decided we don't need a Guardian, so let's bury these things on one of the other islands because we don't need this anymore. We don't need a protector. We can subsist on our own. And so somewhere out there on the islands, they've hidden all this stuff that the Guardian of old, probably at least like 100 years ago, would have had. Zoran thinks that Tasia knows where it is and that she left to go protect it from Scallop. That That's his theory, at least.
Zaba kind of like, you can kind of see Zaba kind of fiddling with the edge of his mask. And then like kind of becoming like aware of like, oh yeah, like this was something that was handed down to him. And I guess it maybe thinks about like what Kokoro Village would be like if it was in a similar situation like this with a guardian who is unworthy of such items.
Yeah, Driftwood kind of sobers up and goes back to like the bar table and is like, it's always been about power in Noro. It goes back and forth. The people have it, the water has it, the guardian has it, whoever Tasia has it. It's just we just get rocked back and forth constantly. It's never the same day here, and to the people that visit it's exciting, and to the people who live here it's exhausting.
It sounds tumultuous.
Well, we still have. I look over to Ernie and Sidon. What are Ernie and Sidon doing?
I mean, I've been listening to this conversation this entire time. Like,
Same, yeah. Sidon's been listening intently as well.
yeah. I mean, I point at when Driftwood looks over, I point at the bag and I'm like,
Yeah.
should I ask?
Yeah, we might as
Okay.
well. I look over because we still have those other two fellows at the bar, right? Way down. Are they doing their own thing, or are they like listening in?
They're doing their own thing. They're talking about like, oh yeah, remember that one time I fished up that tuna that was 600 pounds? The guy's like, it was 200 pounds, and you know it. And they start arm wrestling. They're just having a good time. They're like at least like 130. They're elderly dudes that are just kind of like just having a good time and just, you know, being friendly friends.
Friends being friends.
Uh-huh.
So the jar already on the table, or
No,
is
I
it-
like there's like a lull in the conversation. I like plunk it down. Like, speaking of sacred objects, and I just like plunk it down on the table.
Yeah, Zoran, I found this during a swim today. Very odd. I mean, I'm detecting traces of magic coming from it. But I was wondering if you could identify the script on here. I don't know if any of the old scribes are still around, or if you picked up a thing or two, but maybe you can tell us something about this. We have no idea.
He glances at it and with a success says, it's a riddle. It's a riddle that reads, you can't see me, but sometimes you hear me. In a hurricane, some people fear me. What am I? I would advise answering this riddle outside of my establishment.
Ernie was about to say it, and like, good point.
All right. I think I'm fresh out, Zoran. But should the Festival of Mitra happen as expected, we'll just see you there.
Yeah, which, speaking of, if you're looking for work, I'm sure there are plenty of the merchants around town could use help preparing for it. I know your mother has a lot on her plate getting ready for it, so there's probably plenty of things to do, plenty of things to go gather and prepare for. But, you know, come back if you need any pointers.
Sure. Thanks, Tito.
Yeah, you always drink free in my bar.
Wow. See, always drink free. Well, don't tempt me. We'll be off. I'm sure you'll see us next couple days. Should everything not burn down by then.
Could I get a glass of water to go on Scallop's tab?
He hands it to you in a like bamboo pipe that like you can seal, and then there's like a little tab you can pull up to drink out of.
Thank you. Nice
Oh,
scars.
before I leave, I was like, "Hey, I just remembered." And then I throw one of the snacks from Ajira over to Zoran. I was like, we could really use some more different snacks, and bar food is like the best food there is. So I know the person who made these, so try them out, see if you like them.
Yeah, he opens the cloth bag and takes a deep inhale and then munches on a chip. And he's like, And you see him start mixing a new drink to go with it as you all leave. So where the three of you go, or where the four of you going now? Beery, you see Beery playing with other children. There's like, they're playing 2-on-2 games with a little net, trying to kick the coconut over the net with their feet. Beery is mostly just using his head. He has a really big head, and you can assume his skull is really dense because he's not made any. There's no scratches on his head as he hits it with his skull.
Jeez. Well, I advise and say, well, I think we can try to answer this riddle, but let's not do it in the middle of town.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you guys are gonna go to the beach?
Yeah, I guess I should I like shout over to Beery just to make sure to be back at Driftwood's parents' place by dinner?
Yeah. You do that, and Beery goes, okay, Ernie.
I look at the other kids, make sure he's back by dinner. Okay?
They're like, okay,
Thank you.
okay.
Does Mel say anything?
Whatever.
Is he a little happy though that he's with Beery?
Mel will never show whether or not
Dang.
they're happy, but you get a vibe. Y'all go to the beach near your house, Driftwood, or a different beach?
Let's do a beach like slightly north shore
Okay.
of where we're at. So
Cool. So you go to the North Shore where there's a large standing stone that has some like carvings in it of like, a lot of shark imagery once again. And it's sort of like this landmark on the island to know which way's north. There's no one out here.
perfect place to solve a riddle. We plop the jar down in the sand.
Cool. Once again, the riddle reads, you can't see me, but sometimes you hear me. And in a hurricane, some people fear me. What am I?
Wind.
Or yeah. Okay, Ernie says that? Who says it? Who says it? Who says it out loud?
It's obviously Ernie.
I think
Ernie?
it's Ernie,
Okay.
yeah.
Ernie, you read it and then you say wind, and all of a sudden the lid pops off and a rush of air flows out of it, blowing you all back. And it begins to cycle and spin in front of the four of you. And all of a sudden, right in front of you, in a blink of an eye, as the wind dies down, there is a little cloud that like looks at all of you and like waves a little like stubby cloud hand, and you all realize that this is a cloud of legend, what you would call a nimbus cloud.
Wow.
Wow.
A cloud, the party grows.
Dyson Pizza is Maya Worrell as Zaba, Justin Ricafort as Driftwood, Kyla Worrell as Ernie, and myself, Derek Ayalo, as the guide. Cover art is by the incredible Gene Young, theme song by Itamar Ben Zimra, with additional sound effects by Brian Kim. Our next episode will be on Monday, March 21st, so stay tuned to find out what happens with their newfound cloud friend. You can follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at Dyson Pizza for updates, and you can check out the video or audio version of this on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. And if you haven't already, drop us a review or ranking or rating wherever you are listening to this. It helps new people find the show. Thank you all so much for listening, and we will catch you all next time.